everyone, and welcome. My name is Vanessa. I'd like to invite you to practice with me this morning a nice detoxing, gentle yoga practice. So if you've not practiced yoga before, this would be a nice introduction for you. We all need to detox in some kind of way. This came up yesterday in a live class that I taught over the weekend. Maybe a little bit too much celebration or libations, and then the first comment was, all right, like, time to get right back on the horse and let's get going and start this week off right. So even though it's Tuesday, this could be a good practice for you any morning or any evening. So we're really going to be focusing on the breath as a detox, the breath to help and aid the mind in detoxing any emotions, and the postures and the breath together to create this movement that helps to detox as well. And bending, stretching, twisting, those are all great ways to help the body to detox. So if you think of it more than just what's on the surface as far as your muscles go, think about massaging and tightening around your internal organs and how that creates a detox. As well as if you just took your finger and pressed it against your flesh, you'll notice that there's kind of a little white print left as the blood is moved away. So all of this movement as well is helping to detox from the very smallest capillaries on the surface of our skin and all the way through our body. So that's the intention of this practice. If you're coming from a place where healing is on the forefront of your mind, and again, whether if that's physical healing or emotional healing, this is a nice place to come to get going in that direction. So if you're ready to go, if you don't have a mat, no worries. Get a towel just to separate you from your carpet or anything like that, any allergens that might be on your carpet, or to cushion you a little bit. And I would like you to begin in a lying down pose. We call it Shavasana or corpse pose, so think about that. There's really nothing going on. That being said, initially, as you start to make your way to your mat, there's a lot of things that may be still going on in the busy mind. So as you take your mat and you just close your eyes, be guided by the sound of my voice, and in a little bit I will be joining you in the postures as well. So as you're lying there, just begin to notice any sensations in the body, any thoughts going on in your mind. You can imagine that you might have a journal sitting next to you, and everything that kind of comes up to the surface, you might write it down. Now, this is coming to our awareness, because a lot of thoughts that we have kind of pass by and don't stay there too long. We're not really even aware or conscious that we're having them. You know, we're just moving along unconscious, if you will, in your life. But as we start to bring that consciousness to the forefront of your mind, without judgment, you can say, well, isn't it interesting that I'm thinking that? Is it critical of yourself or someone else, or judgmental? So just bringing your awareness, and that's the beginning of creating any change. Because once you know, you can't unknow. So begin that process of noticing what, if anything, you brought to your mat with you this morning. And again, as if you could write it down. Isn't that interesting? And you might even bring your awareness outside of your body to notice what's going on in the room or outside of your home. Sounds, sensations. Hey, do you mind? Sometimes the yoga mat can be a great place for your cat to take a bath, unfortunately. So just observing all of that, in any given day, our mind is just going, we might have anywhere from 35 to 70,000 different thoughts that are going through there. So if nothing else, just coming down to a place where you can calm down. So many benefits as we get into our autonomic nervous system. If we're always in fight or flight, which is our sympathetic nervous system, the body is always going. It's very hard to rest and digest, if you will, when those stress hormones are always on the go. So it makes it very hard to heal. It makes it very hard to lose weight if that's a goal. So learning to calm down and find your center, if you will. So what does that mean, finding your center? So as you're lying there, let's just start to scan. Noticing your head, noticing your shoulders, your back, anything within your awareness where you can feel the weight of your body and your body touching the earth, feeling that connection. You may also notice that you might be trying to hold yourself up. That's those muscles kind of tightening up. So bring your awareness there. Bring your awareness to the space, all the spaces that don't touch, under the neck, the low back, the bends of the knees, maybe even behind the ankles. Just observing and noticing. And there's opportunity here as the mind and the thoughts may continue to fluctuate into the past or forward into the future. So in terms of detoxing and cleansing the mind and your emotions, noticing if negativity comes up or judgment or criticism, and then see if you can bring yourself back into a neutral place or a present moment awareness in terms of how your body is right now in this very moment, even noticing tension or stress, and really connecting to the breath. We're going to start with an equal ratio breath, inhaling for a count of 3 perhaps, or 4. And then exhaling for a count of 3 or 4. Being very intentional about our breath. Noticing moving in through the nose, down the back of the throat, and filling the lungs, expanding the chest. And as you breathe in and out, allow it to soften some places in your body where your body might be talking to you, that there's some tension or stress there. You know, it's kind of this relationship and conversation that your body's having with you. Okay, notice me. And that might be a place that you're healing, whether it's in the physical body, on the outside, the joints, a muscle, or maybe it's an internal organ that you're healing. Maybe it's a heart. Maybe it's an emotional healing or a mind healing. And so now the next breath that we're going to practice is very similar, but on your exhale, you're going to lengthen it and deepen it, and we will call that a sinking breath or surrendering or letting go breath. So you'll inhale for a count of 3 or 4, whatever your capacity is to take in. And then exhale a little bit slower and a little bit longer. Maybe for 5, maybe for 6, or maybe every time you just try to deepen it and extend it a little bit more. As you inhale, intentionally think to yourself, I'm feeding every cell in my body. I'm breathing in this fresh new oxygen. I'm sending it to every cell. And you may say to every cell in your body, every cell in my body is healthy and well. On the exhale, releasing anything that isn't serving you. So as you notice that tension in the shoulders, you're sending the breath there to release and let go, to feel it kind of softening and soothing and smoothing over that area. As you think of that in your mind's eye, you might think of a body of water that has no movement, very little movement, like a pond, a little more muddy and mucky. And there may be a lot of things, organisms or mosquitoes or things like that, moss, that grow there because there isn't a lot of movement. Whereas you think about a stream where the water is flowing and rushing, the rocks are smooth, everything is clean, the water is clear, there's nothing stagnant. The breath creates this flow, and as it's rushing over these parts of your body where there may need to be healing, it helps to remove all of those clogs, if you will. Take a couple more moments to practice this detoxing breath. And then as you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Remove my kitten cat from the mat. You want to sit on my pillow? And as you come to your mat here, just extend your body all the way out, lengthening through fingers and toes. Circle your ankles, circle your wrists in both directions. And then just exhale with your arms out to the side. A nice cactus arm position. Feeling the spine nice and long here. Inhale and exhale. And then begin to walk the feet up, your knees bent. Take your pinky toes a little bit wider. See, the mat is a nice place to lie. Even the animals want to get on there. Just start to sway the knees a little bit from side to side. Arms may come out to the side like the letter T. And then using your breath, let's exhale, letting the legs fall over to the right. Inhale, bring them back to the center. Exhaling over to the other side. Really letting your breath guide you through every movement. Inhaling to center and exhaling to the other side. Inhaling to center and exhaling to the other side. And just start to really utilize your breath here, breathing in and breathing out. Noticing how your body's talking to you as you're moving your legs from side to side. Where do you feel it? What can you acknowledge? And then the next time you let your legs fall over to the right, just allow them to stay there. And just start to scan your body here, breathing in and out and noticing. Can I create some more space between the hip bone and the rib cage, lengthening through the left side body? How about the front of your thigh all the way down to your knee and your knee to your big toe? What about the heaviness of your right leg? Can you let that go? And can you turn your head over just a little bit more to gaze over your left shoulder? Inhale back to the center and exhale over to the other side. And we'll take a few breaths here. In the present moment, just being very conscious of how your body is feeling. And the breath moving in and out. Practice is really going to be about asking yourself, where can I do less work in my body so that I'm resting and detoxing, letting the body have a chance to digest. And then bringing the legs back to the center on the inhale. Let's draw the knees into the belly. You can wrap your arms around the backs of your legs, lengthen through the neck so the chin is just drawn into your chest just a little bit. Give yourself a nice loving hug intentionally. Your arms could be around your shins if that feels good. Try to keep the feet lying next to each other side by side rather than crossing them. That kind of crosses up the flow of energy. And then let's inhale, lifting the forehead up to the knees, rounding through the upper back, giving yourself a really juicy big hug. Lowering down nice and slow. Let's hold on to the knees. Inhaling, pressing the knees away. Exhaling, drawing the knees in. So this movement begins to compress a little bit in the hips, compressing into the low belly. So we're massaging those intestines. Inhale. exhale as you draw your knees in. Inhale as you push away. And if this is the only pose that you do every day just to begin your day, it's great for the low back. It's great for the digestion and your hips. And so as we're moving through these postures, I want you to think about the effect of a garden hose, because these postures are compression in the body. So when you think about a garden hose being crimped and then there's no water flowing through it, it's kind of like what we're doing as we're holding in. But then when you get the kink out and you release it, immediately there's a quick surge. So when you release, we're having a quick surge of the blood flow through the vascular system, and that's kind of getting rid of any clogs that you might have. Kind of reminds me of a Drano commercial, which is gross, but you get the idea. It's helping everything to move through a little bit more, so that helps to declog inside the body, helps with scar tissue, and anything that's just a little bit stagnant, giving it a little bit of help. Holding the knees away, let's start to circle the hips around. Inhale away, exhale to draw in. So we're getting some mobility here. Warming up the synovial fluid inside the joint, keeping everything lubricated, if you will. So you might liken this to, like, if you've sat too long or even been standing too long, the joints get stiff. Reverse that anytime you like. And then we're going to keep the right knee in and lower the left leg down. Now you can keep your leg bent if you like, or you can extend it. Obviously, you have to watch out for the cat. And then while your right knee is drawn in here, just circle it around. Your ascending colon is on the right side of the body, so that's what's getting a little massage here, as well as the hip joint. Shoulders relaxed, finding lots of space between the earlobes and the tops of the shoulders. And then let's hold it over here and flex and point the feet, engaging this left leg if you have it extended. So notice how this is open here. So that's aiding in some flow and stretching out that hip flexor muscle. Avoid the rib cage by pulling it over, drawing it up towards your right shoulder, and get really long in the neck. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, being very intentional. Every cell in my body is healthy and well. We are what our body is able to digest. So if we were putting some things in there this weekend or yesterday, you might be feeling the effects of that. So we want to help it get out of there, get some flow going. And then release it. You can release it just down with the bent leg or extend it all the way out. So remember that garden hose. So now it's getting nice flow. Stretch the arms over the crown of the head and lengthen. And exhale, surrender. Let's draw the left leg in and start to stir it around. These are my favorite go-tos. And on a day when perhaps you're not feeling like being really active, but you need a little something, this could be that little something to get the juices flowing. Draw it up and over. Avoid
avoiding the rib cage, descending colon on the left side of the body. Breathe in and breathe out. The series of these 3 postures that we're doing are typically called wind removing poses, which might be interesting. Breathe in and breathe out. Keeping your mind focused on the present moment, helping the body tend to itself right now. And release it all the way down. Stretch the arms over the head one more time. Interlacing, pointing and flexing, lifting the rib cage. Maybe a nice little shimmy shimmy with the hips from side to side. And then one more time, we're going to draw the knees into the belly. Bend them in, wrap them around, hold them in there nice and tight, lengthen through the neck, transverse colon along the lower part of the abdomen, giving that a nice little squeeze. These digestive poses are so important to me. I have been healing from Crohn's disease really since the 90s, and as of my last checkup, doing a pretty good job. No signs of that dis-ease in my intestines, so I'm pretty happy about that. Just means everything I've been doing is working. All right, and just release. Let's roll over onto our left side, using your left hand, or arm rather, as a pillow for your head. Just take a moment to pause here and to connect. When you think about tending to your body, or tending to a garden, tending to your family, all of that creates a rich relationship, a rich friendship with yourself. Treating yourself with love and care. So the language is so important here, that we keep ourselves in a positive place. So if the thoughts should start to take us down a different road, we quickly just move right back to something more positive. Every cell in my body is healthy and well. I remove anything that doesn't serve me right now in this moment. Coming to my mat today for healing. Stay here as long as you like. This left side lying position, by the way, is a great place to lay when you're uncomfortable with digestive issues perhaps, or cardiovascular issues. It also helps the lymph flow through the body a little better. Try to sleep on your left side if you can, so that everything is flowing just a little, with a little more ease. Use your hands to push yourself up when you're ready, and let's find our way into a child's pose. If you have any knee issues and this is uncomfortable, you could place a towel or a blanket underneath your knees, or even behind the thighs that touch against your calf muscles. If this is uncomfortable for your feet, you could roll up a towel and place it underneath the ankle here. Stretching your fingertips forward. Also, if this is uncomfortable with your hips back, your booty up in the air, this is puppy pose, might be a little more comfortable. Really stretch your fingertips here, lifting up under the fingertips, getting good extension through the arms and through the back as you just rest your head. Now, if you need to, you could put a block or pillow underneath your forehead if you've got a little ways to go in this hip flexibility. On your next exhale, let your hands relax, let your wrists relax, your forearms, your elbows, your armpits, and sink. As much as you can, just sink and allow the body to rest. With the body right on top of the thighs, notice that we're creating another compression here. Feeling the earth under the shins, the calves under the thighs under the belly right under the back. This feels really good on the low back. If this isn't accessible in your body, draw the knees apart. Bring the big toes together. This makes a nice little comfy place for your body, and this feels really good too. Stretch up onto the fingertips, reach and reach and reach. Inhale and exhale, letting everything go. One more time. Inhale, stretch and reach and reach and reach. And exhale, let it all out. Coming forward to an all-fours position, your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your wrists, or your knees underneath your hips rather. Shift side to side a little bit. Pull the belly in. Stay strong in your upper body rather than collapsing here. And then I also want you to find your belly button. Pull your belly button in, and just like it's a snap it to the back of your spine. And just continue to breathe in and out here. Getting our core ready. This helps to really support the spine by creating kind of a girdle, or what's that other thing? Corset, tightening up around the spine. Reminds me of Chinese handcuffs, squeezing around as you tighten up. Coming into a cat and cow pose, let's extend through the crown of the head. Inhale, take the tailbone up and find that length through the neck. Still pulling the belly button in. Exhale, curl and round, gazing to the belly button, rising up through the upper back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Coming back into neutral spine, extend your left foot back, curling the toes under and pressing through the heels. Hold the stretch right here, firming up the thigh. And as you're ready, maybe bringing the right arm parallel to the floor. And then starting to just lift here, feeling a little spinal balance. On your exhale, let's bring that elbow across to the left thigh. Opposite sides coming across. Inhale to extend. Exhale to come across. This is great for your brain. Linking up the right hemisphere of the brain and the left hemisphere of the brain by this crossover type of movement, right and left. And then crunching those abdominal muscles so that we give those a squeeze, very detoxing. And then come back. Inhale and exhale. You can take another round of cat and cow here to balance the spine out. And then let's do the right side. Press the right heel back. Stretch first and firm up the thigh. And then when you're ready, extend those left fingertips forward. Now they can touch if you're still working on balance. Lifting that right leg up and Lifting that left arm out. Inhale and exhale. Come across, exhale. Inhale, extend. Come across, exhale. How am I doing, Lucky? Exhale, come across. Inhale, extend. And come back to center. From here, let's lower down onto your forearms. We'll give your wrists a break. You can circle them around a little bit here. Breathing in and breathing out. Coming back into our body, extend your your right leg out long, and then bend the knee as if you're pressing your foot up onto the ceiling. And then see if you can stack your right hip over your left. Circle your ankle. Bend and straighten the knee. Maybe drawing some big circles with the hip, opening it up. Now you could also do this from downward facing dog, or you can do it from your hands if you like. And then extend it and center it and bring it back. And let's do the other side. Extend it out, bend it up, put your foot on the ceiling, squeeze the tush, and start to open and rotate. Circle the ankle, wiggle the toes, bend and straighten the knee, maybe even circle the hip. Opening up. And then bring it back, extend it, and lower, and then let's press back into our child's pose and rest the upper body. Breathe in and breathe out. Wiggle your fingers here if you like, releasing any tension in the body. Feeling that melting, sinking sensation. Coming forward, we're going to take a twist through the upper body. Let's start with the right side. Inhale the right fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, stretch it up, watching your fingertips all the way. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, rise up. And then on this one, let's bring the right ear down to the mat. Looking to the left. Again, booty up in the air if that feels comfortable. We're just taking a little bit of weight into the side of the head and the neck, stretching through the back of that right shoulder and the upper back. Your left arm can stay right here next to your face. You can try to walk those fingertips forward and get a deeper stretch here if this feels nice on your body. Or even back behind the back into that right hip pocket. And just melt into it and breathe. Tending to the body. Every cell in my body is healthy and well. I release anything that is not serving me today. One more inhale, one more exhale. Bringing that left hand back to the earth. Let's stretch the right arm back up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale to center it. And let's switch sides. Left arm raises up. Gaze to the fingers. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, just focusing a little bit more on twisting through the upper body. And let's bring it all the way through, bringing your left ear to the mat, looking to the right. Right hand can rest or stretch forward, or coming back into that left hip pocket. Inhale and exhale. And then see if you can melt. Bringing the right hand back down to the mat. Inhale, the left arm back up to the sky. And lower. Coming back into this all fours position. Shift your hips back into your child's pose. We're going to do a nice low flow, staying very close to the earth this morning. Inhale, bring your body forward. Pull your belly in. We don't want the hips to completely sink here, although this feels really good. You want to just watch your low back and not have any compression. So tighten up your buttocks here if you're letting the hips sink. But in a modified plank formation, we keep the hips lifted a little bit and the belly button pulled in. Breathe in and breathe out. And then sink right back into your child's pose. Inhale forward into that plank. Exhale, press back. Inhale into your plank, and now nice and slow. Hug those elbows tight and lower down as you can. And then when you get all the way to the bottom, let's bring the arms out to the side or over the head and lift the upper body up. You can lift the arms like you're flying or out to the side or even back to the back or under the forehead and lower down. Inhale, lift up. Remember all your choices. Exhale, lower down. So with the arms extended over the head, that's going to be a little more challenging than where I'm at right here. Or even the arms out to the side will be a little more challenging than where I was here with my head on my hands. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the hands down. Inhale, fill the lungs. Exhale, press back into child's pose. Inhale forward into your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift into a gentle cobra pose. You can hover your hands and just hold and support. Exhale, press right back into child's pose. And breathe in and out. In our next round, we're going to add just a little bit more core work if you like, or you can continue to flow just as we were. You might sweat. You might not sweat. Sweating is good for detoxing the body, but at this pace that we're moving, it may not happen. So it's not really the goal in this particular practice. Inhale, bring yourself forward. Before we lower down, we're going to curl the toes under. Now this is what's optional. And you're going to lift the knees and firm the thighs and pull in the belly. Lower to the knees, uncurl the toes, exhale, lower down. So that's the only part we've added on. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, child's pose, or downward facing dog if you like. Inhale forward into your plank. Curl your toes under, lift your knees, engage. See if we can stay here a little bit longer with our breath. Pull the belly in. You can lower on the balls of the feet if you like, or drop on the knees and curl the toes. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, child's pose or downward facing dog. Let's go through it one more time. Inhale, come forward. Curl the toes under, lift the hips, breathe. Let's stay here a little bit longer if you can, or you can always drop those knees right back down. You could lower to your forearms. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next exhale, come on down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press back to your child's pose. Or another option, if you'd like to completely let go, is just lay onto your belly. Breathe in and breathe out. Awesome. If you're on your belly, come to all fours position. If you're back into your child's pose, come forward into all fours position, and let's take the right foot and place it in between the hands in this nice low lunge. You could have a block on each side of your hands here, or press into your fingertips, and then let's just straighten and bend the right knee, tracking it right over the second toe. Getting a little bit of movement in the back of the right thigh by pressing back. You can even flex your toes back a bit and see how that feels. Notice what's happening in the left hip as well. Now let's do that one more time. And then as you come forward, walk your hands up to your right thigh, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Inhale, the arms up overhead. Exhale, the knuckles to the small of the back, like you're putting your hands in your hip pockets. Open your heart and gaze up. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, the arms back up to the sky. Hands lower down on each side of your right foot. Take your right hand and bring it up to the sky for a twist, or back behind the back into this left hip pocket. Breathe, twisting. Inhale, the arm back up to the sky. Exhale, lower the hand back down. Let's step back with the right foot and take child's pose or down dog. Breathe. Every cell in my body is healthy and well. Tending to my body is good for my mind and my soul. Inhale, come back forward into all fours. Take the left foot in between the hands. Sometimes it needs a little bit of guidance. It's okay. Support. Stretching forward and back. Just being really conscious of your breath. So it's good that the movements really aren't that complicated, because you can really then concentrate on what you're doing and how you're breathing and what you're feeling. So it's not really an opportunity to let your mind wander off into stuff. That's what we're trying to take a break from, all the busyness, by keeping the mind focused in this gentle cleansing way. Coming forward, inhale, lift the arms up, align the spine, feel the feet. Exhale, hands behind the back. Open it up. Gently opening the chest and gently squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower the hands. Your right hand on the floor or on a block and the left arm up to the sky, gazing up. Back behind the back into the hip pocket if that feels good. A little leverage always feels nice. And if the shoulder doesn't have a lot of mobility yet, then this feels a little bit nicer. So we don't want to feel like we're forcing. Bring it back down and press back into our child's pose and rest. Now you can always take the arms along the sides of the body with the knuckles down and let that go as well. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to do our lower body flow just one more time, and I'll give you another alternative to twist and massage these internal organs. Coming forward into all fours position, right foot forward. Shift back and forth for a few breaths. You might even decide to hold this half split pose and draw the toes back a little bit more, lengthening here, staying here for a few breaths, relaxing head and neck. Inhale, come back forward, stretching the arms up over the head. Exhale the knuckles to the small of the back and breathe. Inhale, rise back up to the sky. Draw your hands to your heart center. Now this might be an alternative. Bringing that left arm to the outside of your right thigh, and then starting to just use that arm as a little leverage to open it up so that the hands stack and so that the arms stack over here. And if that doesn't feel good, go back to our original. Breathe. Lower the hand back to the floor and step back. Child's pose, breathe, exhale. Inhale forward and step through. Press forward and back at your ease. Inhale and exhale. Getting blood flow. And pausing if you like, or continuing to move forward and back. Again, remember the intention is to detox the body with ease. Inhaling forward, stretch the arms up over the head. Exhaling the arms back behind the back. Open it up. Exhale, inhale the arms back to the sky. Draw your hands to your heart and bring the right arm over to the left. Stacking the palms, trying to align the shoulders and the elbows. Breathe here. Or lower the hand. Or rest the hand behind the back. Noticing all the different experiences that your body can have. Breathe. Lower the hand back down and let's press back into the child's pose, or all the way back into our dead bug pose, and rest. Breathing in and breathing out. pulling your body up nice and slow, we're going to bring the right leg forward and the left leg back into a deer pose. Now, if you know pigeon pose and you would like to take that here, that is fine as well. So the legs just take these little crooked letter shapes. And we're going to turn our body towards the right leg so that we're drawing that left shoulder forward. Let's take a little bit of flow here. Exhaling forward over the right leg. Inhale, come up long. Exhale. And inhale. Your hands can be on blocks. Your pillow can be ready for your forehead if you need to. This makes it very restorative, and it just brings the earth up to meet the body so that we can give ourselves permission to surrender a little bit more. It feels good also to bring your head all the way down so that we feel a little deeper stretch through that right hip. Everything is relaxed. Every cell in my body is healthy and well. Breathe in and breathe out. Coming up nice and slow. When you're ready, we're going to take this back leg and bring it around to the front of either your ankle, your shin, or on the other side of your right thigh. So we're looking like so, a nice little twisted position in the lower body, staying very grounded through the hips. Reach your right arm around the left leg and your left arm back behind the back. Let me switch around again. Getting very long through the spine. Pull the belly in. And then at the very last, see if you can take your chin over that left shoulder. Again, twisting and wringing out any internal toxins. And then coming back to the center, still with your legs crossed here, you could bring the top leg back a little bit more and the bottom leg out a little bit more so that maybe the knees stack a little bit more, or you can keep it just like it was. And we'll come forward over these bent legs. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. So the gentle twisting of the legs is great for the hips, great for the knees. And just pause here. See if you can relax some. Let the eyelids feel heavy. Find surrender where you can find surrender. Not a time to be multitasking, making your grocery list or planning your day. Being completely present with yourself. Coming up nice and slow, let's untangle the legs and take your legs out nice and wide into the straddle. Pushing yourself up just a bit onto your hip bones
or your sits bones, if you need to be elevated a little bit, sitting on a block or a pillow might be comfortable. Reaching to the inner thigh, roll it back just a little bit so that the knees and the toes are pointing up. Let's sit up tall with the spine, just resting your hands here to the front. And as you can, just start to hinge forward with a long spine. Reaching out with the chin as long as you can, wherever that is, till maybe eventually you can get the palms a little more forward. Maybe you can lower to your forearms. Maybe you can rest out a little bit more. So every time you exhale, attempt to come a little bit more forward until you feel yourself coming to yourself coming to a place where you say, okay, that's good right there.
So again, no pain. Just relax.
And we can really sense and feel that idea of water rushing over the body as the breath is the water over any jagged edges in the body. So whatever sensations you're feeling, backs of the thighs, inner thighs, your back, your neck, relaxing your face. Let's stay here for 3 cycles of breath.
Inhaling and exhaling.
Coming up nice and slow. Bring the legs back together. Just give them a little shake. And then we're going to switch over to the other side. Bending the legs back into this deer pose. Bringing the hands forward, shifting the right shoulder forward so that we're right over this left leg. Protecting the knee by keeping the calf muscle into the back of the thigh. And let's just flow it a little bit. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then on this next one, let's hold it down. Lowering down nice and slow. And resting. Inhale, come up nice and slow. And then let's bring this right leg around in front of the ankle, in front of the shin, or outside the left thigh. Sit back into your right hip. Lift up into your spine and up through the crown of the head. And breathe. And then let's rotate around. Left arm hugs the right knee and thigh. Right arm back behind the back. Lift through the crown of the head and then take the chin around. Settling down, sinking down. Pull the belly button in. Squeezing those internal muscles. Coming back to the center, Untangle the legs and let's put the soles of the feet together. Doing some nice butterfly wings. Hold on nice and tight. Sitting up nice and tall, and again, if you need to have the hips elevated a bit to make your back a little more comfortable, to assist your back in that, that's cool. Inhale, lift yourself up, draw the knees open. Pulling the elbows back, hinging forward, bringing your body forward. Exhale. Eventually to put the head, or the face rather, inside the bends or the opening of your feet. If it feels comfortable here, elongate the arms out in front. Maybe that pillow or the block can come right here onto the feet for the forehead, just to allow you to rest the neck. Coming up nice and slow, bring the legs together and let's lower ourselves back down however you can. Boop. Or lowering. We'll draw those knees back into the belly. Massage and circle from side to side. We'll take 2 more poses here before our final Shavasana. Lower the feet back down, not too close to the buttocks. Reaching the fingertips long to the heels. Stretch through the neck here, bridging the hips. Exhale the breath. Now this causes a compression here in the throat. We still want some space underneath the neck, so don't press the neck into the mat. Keep it open. Thyroid glands and parathyroid glands are being compressed here a little bit in the throat in this position. It's also a really nice stretch through the upper back. Not to mention this nice tightening and squeezing of the glutes. Lower down, nice and slow. Feeling every little bit of spine. Raising the arms over the head. Let the knees fall together and the feet fall out. And just rest. Breathe in and breathe out. Relaxing low belly. Relaxing pelvic floor all the way to your tailbone. Let's do that one more time. Walk the feet back together, the knees open, arms to the sides of the body. Bridge yourself up, inhale and exhale. Just breathe in and out. Again, getting that compression. Trying to breathe in and out through the nose. Sometimes that's challenging. I'm a little stuffy today. But if that's the case, then just breathe as you can until the sinuses open up. And lower. One vertebrae at a time. Raising the arms over the head. Bringing the knees together and the feet out wide. And resting. So this opens the throat back up. Let the belly feel heavy. The lower abdominal muscles feel heavy. Hips. Pelvic floor to tail. Everything relaxed. Bringing the arms back out to the side like the letter T.
You can let the knees just fall over to the right, or if you need a little more, bring the legs into the body and let the legs fall over to the right. If you need a little more, so we got 3 layers. We'll take the left leg and cross it over the right. Maybe you can hook the foot behind. If that doesn't work, just cross at the legs like you're reading the newspaper or reading a good book. And then we'll let the legs go over to the right and gaze over to the left. So you had a couple different choices there. If you need to, you can bend this left elbow and place the hand on the rib cage. We just want the shoulder to be relaxed. You could put a pillow or a blanket underneath there. So we don't want to just leave the body hanging out there. We want it to be able to melt into the pose. So this wrapping of the legs, these eagle legs, are so good for the knees, the hips. Squeeze the inner thighs together just a bit more if you're all twisted. Let yourself surrender. Slowly bringing the legs over to the right so you can untangle. Remember your choices. Feet on the floor, come to the side. Legs together, come to the side. This time, wrap the right leg around and come to the side. Whatever works best. Really honoring one side of the body from the other. Comparing, but not in a negative way, just to say, isn't that interesting that I might have a little more ease on one side than I do on the other. Letting it kind of unfold. Untangle when you're ready. And then please find your way into your final resting pose on your back, on your belly, on your side. We don't want any part of the body to be touching another part of the body, so the legs are a little bit wider, the arms are away from the inside of the body, with your palms up so you're not holding on. And as you breathe in and out, just imagine that your body might be a life-size balloon. And you're filling it up with every inhale, all the way down to your toes. And then when you're completely filled up, imagine that you just start to float away. Giving yourself permission to stay here as long as you like. if you feel ready, begin to awaken your body, wiggling fingers and toes, breathing new life into this body. Breathe healing into this body. Every cell in my body is healthy and well. All is well in my mind and my soul. As you find your way to your seat, ground to observe anything touching. Use a pillow under your hips if you need to. Breathing in and breathing out, finding your center. Bring your hands to your heart. Finding moment for blessing and gratitude for this day, for this life, for this breath. All is well. The light within me honors and bows to the light within all of you. Namaste. And I thank you. Have a blessed day.